Hi, I'm Thomas Joseph, and I'm a freelance food stylist here in New York City. And this is my tiny studio apartment here. And today I'm going to show you how to make Clementine curd tartlets with an almond butter crust. And so that's what we're going to start right now. So I have a half a cup of blanched almonds, whole almonds, in the food processor here. And so now I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of granulated sugar. I'm going to process this up until the almonds are finely ground. All right. And so the almonds are finely ground, and I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt and 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And we're just going to process this until it's combined. And now I'm going to add 1 stick of butter, and this is cubed into a quarter inch cubes, and it's nice and cold. Okay. And now we're just going to process this until it forms a crumbly dough that will hold together when you squeeze it. Let's see here. So that's pretty good. You can see that right there. All right. You don't want any big pieces of butter. This isn't like a pâte brisée or a pie dough that you would want the big, flaky, pea-sized pieces of butter in your crust. So this looks good. And I'm just going to transfer it into a bowl just so it's easier to spread out in our little tart pans. And so we're using these 3.5-inch fluted tart pans with a removable bottom, and I'll show you later on how easy they are to come out of the pans with the removable bottoms. And we're going to use about 1/3 cup in each tart, and we're making about 8 of these little tartlets. So I'm just going to scoop in 1/3 cup. Okay, and one thing that I like to do is I like to use a smaller measuring cup to kind of situate the dough around the sides. But first I use my hands and I just pat the dough or the crumbs out, just like so, pushing the crumbs up around the side, just like this, creating a little bit of a well in the center, not a little bit, but quite a big well. And then I take the measuring cup like this and I push down and push to the side, and I use my thumb to press the dough that's around the fluted edge down, just like that, compressing the crumbs into the bottom of the pie shell and around the sides. And you want to end up with something like that. Pretty fluted edge, a nice base on the bottom. And after you get them all done, put them in the freezer for about 15 minutes so that they get nice and cold and chilled, and then throw them into a 350-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. You're looking for a nice golden brown color. So our tart shells are in the oven, and while they're going, I'm going to start my Clementine curd. So I have 9 yolks here in this pan right here, and I'm going to add 1 cup of granulated sugar, the zest of 1 clementine, and just a pinch of salt. And here I have the juice of 3 clementines, which is about a 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons, and I have a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. I'm just going to turn this on medium-low, and I'm going to start with a whisk, and I'm just going to whisk all this together just until it's nicely incorporated. And once that happens, I'm going to switch to a rubber spatula or wooden spoon because I don't want to incorporate too many bubbles in the curd while it's cooking. If you use a whisk, that's what's going to happen. And so I'm going to gently stir this while it heats up, and we were looking to reach 160 degrees, and that's when your curd will be nice and thick, and that's the point where we'll add the butter to it. It's about 1.5 sticks of butter, cubed into 1/4-inch pieces and chilled. So our curd is nice and thick, and you can tell that by just scooping some up on the back of your spatula or your wooden spoon and just drawing your finger down the center, and you can see that it holds It holds the line there nicely. So this is ready to go. What we're going to do now is add our chilled butter and just stir that until all the butter is melted and emulsified into the curd. All right, so all of our butter is melted. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain it into another bowl, and I have the zest of one more clementine in this glass bowl here. I'm going to take our beautiful clementine curd and just strain it through. It's nice and thick, and we're straining it to get out the cooked zest and also any egg whites that have gotten incorporated in there with the yolks. And just give it a little stir. Stir that zest in. And then take a piece of saran wrap and just go right onto the top of the curd. And this helps to prevent a skin from forming when it's cooling. And this goes into the refrigerator for about 1 hour, 2 hours, or overnight until it's nice and set. All right, so our tart shells have come out of the oven. They've cooled for a bit. And I'm just going to show you how easy they are to pop out of the tins. Since there's so much butter in this crust, it comes right out like that. We'll just get rid of this guy. I've already done the rest. And what we're going to do now is start with our meringue. So I have 9 egg whites from the 9 yolks in this mixer. I'm just going to turn this on low speed, maybe low to medium. I'm going to add a pinch of salt to start. And then I'm going to gradually add, once the egg whites get a little frothy, I'm going to gradually add a tablespoon of superfine sugar at a time. And we have 1 3/4 cups that we're starting with. So we go about medium speed. And while this is going, I'm going to show you how to fill the tarts. And right here I have the finished orange curd that is, or the clementine curd, excuse me. That's been chilled, and you can see how thick it is. It's really thickened up a lot. And I'm just going to spoon this into the tart shells. And you need about like 1/4 cup per tart shell. That looks good. And while I'm doing this, I think we can add some more sugar here. And the reason you add, we're making a French meringue, and the reason you add 1 tablespoon of sugar at a time is so that the sugar actually dissolves into the egg whites, and so you don't have any granular crystals in your meringue when it's finished. All right. So I'm going to add the last bit of sugar here, and I'm going to crank the mixer up to high speed now. And get it to stiff peaks. It was at soft peaks. Now we're going to try and get it really nice and stiff and glossy. All right, and I think it's ready about now. Let's see here. And you can see it holds that stiff peak just like that. It's perfect. All right. I'm going to take our meringue and I'm going to put it into a pastry bag fitted with a round tip. We're going to twist it down to the bottom. And then all we're going to do here is we're going to make little kisses, like Hershey kisses, right on top of the curd. Just to finish it off, I'm going to take just a kitchen torch, a blowtorch, and really simply just brown the meringue right on top to finish it off. And there you have it. It's a simple, easy clementine curd tart that's perfect for any occasion.